Welcome back. In this screencast, we are going to discuss about the Bootstrap as well as step-by-step process of how to use the Bootstrap. So, Bootstrap is basically a very popular front-end framework which you can use it for the front-end design of an application or website, and you just have to write code once and the application will be responsive equally for almost all the devices. When I say almost all the devices, so whether it's a mobile device, tablet device, laptop device, or whatever it is, that is going to work properly on almost all the device. So let's browse through the Bootstrap official website first, and then we'll see what basically the responsive means. So if you just browse through getbootstrap.com, so you will come to an official website of the Bootstrap, where you can see a very one line definition of Bootstrap. Bootstrap is the most popular HTML, CSS and JS framework for developing responsive mobile first project on the web. So when we say responsive and mobile first project, so what it means is, so let's say if you just reduce the size of the browser, and if you just squeeze it like this, probably you can see what responsive means, right? You can see the menu has came below like this, and other content has came vertical. Otherwise, it was horizontal. So let's see, it was horizontal, right? And see the size of the image, right? So this is this is what responsive means. Even if you just browse through Hello Django, our official website. So if you just squeeze it, it is responsive, right? Now we'll browse through each and every tab of the Bootstrap. So basically this is the home page where you can see simple one-liner what Bootstrap mean, and it's been designed for almost all the devices, and a lot of features they have. We'll go through the features of the Bootstrap one by one. And built with the Bootstrap, there are a lot of websites around the globe which is built upon Bootstrap, and even our own company website is also built on Bootstrap. If you just browse through nescode.com, so this is built on Bootstrap. And if you just browse through get started, so basically get started will help you how you can start with the Bootstrap. There are three there are three download buttons you do have. Each and every download buttons has a used for different project structure and requirement, and we'll see which basically download buttons we are going to use. And there are a lot of details you will see, like accessibility, translation, basic templates, examples. So you have the basic examples also which you can use it for your project, and various nav bars, components, dashboard. This is amazing. Even I have used this dashboard template for one of my project, which is amazing. So I would highly encourage you to just go through each and every page, go through line by line, try to do some try to understand it, do practical, and try to understand the code, what basically that code does. However, we will see how basically we can do use it. Right now we will see how basically we can download Bootstrap and how we can use it Bootstrap in our own project. So even if you just come back to the home page of the Bootstrap, you will see a big download button. Click on that. When you click on that, you will have three download button once again. The very first download button, you just click that and the Bootstrap will be downloaded in your system. You can see this is a very small file, 360 KB of the file, a zip file has been downloaded. Just click on that, extract it using any file extraction software. If you are on Linux, you will have already software installed. Even if you are on Windows, you have already Microsoft by default file unzip software. Even if you are on Mac, you have already softwares over there. So I'm just going to extract this particular folder onto my desktop. So let's extract it, and let me close this, and let me rename this with the name Bootstrap. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open it text editor and or IDE, and I'm going to file, add project folder, go to desktop, select that Bootstrap folder which you have downloaded and extracted, say OK. So basically now if you can see, there are 3 folders inside that Bootstrap. If you click on CSS folder, you have again several CSS file. When I say CSS file, that means to say this ends with .css. So first is, let's say, bootstrap-theme.css, which is a Bootstrap theme, and bootstrap-theme.mean.css, bootstrap.css, bootstrap.mean.css, and there are 3 .map file also. We will go through only 2 files primarily. The first is bootstrap.css and bootstrap-mean.css. So basically this is the 2 file which we need, but don't delete other files, otherwise your project won't work. And if you just browse through the fonts folder, fonts folder, again you have 5 files which is end with .eot, svg, .ttf, woff, woff2. We will see what basically this font file is, what is Gallificons. And if you browse through JS folder, so you have bootstrap.js, bootstrap.mean.js, npm.js. So basically we need bootstrap.js and bootstrap.mean.js. However, in our project we are going to call bootstrap.mean.js. What does mean is minified version. When you say minified version, so basically minified version is going to help your website or application open faster. Right now we will see how basically we can use Bootstrap practically. Right, so what we are going to do is I'm going to right click on this Bootstrap folder, and I'm going to create one file called index.html. If you click on if you create a file index.html, so basically it will open in Atom editor, and then what the basic framework of Bootstrap front-end framework, we will copy it from the Bootstrap official website. So again on the getbootstrap.com/get started, if you go, you will have some examples, basic templates. So if you just browse through basic templates, this is the basic templates you do have. If you browse through examples, you will have the examples here. So let's check this example out and see how we can use it. Now if you see this example, so this is very basic examples where you have the navbar and you have some small content over there. What you need to do is I would say I would encourage you to use the Google Chrome, because Google Chrome is very good for the developer. There are a lot of tools which we use for development, and by the way, Google spend huge amount of money for the developer on the developer tool. So I'm going to right click on that page, click on view page source. If you click on view page source, you will see the source code of this HTML template in your browser. What you need to do is just copy this HTML template and you paste it into your index.html, which you have just now created inside a Bootstrap folder. Now what we are going to do is we are going to go inside the Bootstrap folder which is on desktop, and I am going to open this file into my browser. So if you open the file in a browser, it doesn't work, it doesn't look like that. Actually, we have the template which we had copied is basically this, whereas our file, our page looks like this, which is nowhere matching. So we will understand here why it's not coming properly and how we can fix it. So if you can now browse through the code which we had copied from the Bootstrap official website. So basically the doc type HTML, so basically this is the starting tag for any HTML5 page, and there are a few meta tags are there, then titles are there. So let's say titles, we are saying I'm saying my blog, and next you can see here there is a CSS link. In this CSS link there is a something dot dot forward slash dot dot dist forward slash CSS forward slash bootstrap dot mean dot CSS. However, this dist folder we do not have actually here. Nowhere there is a dist folder. So what we are going to do is we are going to give a right link to the bootstrap.mean.css. So basically if you go inside the CSS folder, you have bootstrap.mean.css, right? So what we are going to do, we are just going to give the correct path to the bootstrap.mean.css which we had downloaded from the Bootstrap site. So let's give a correct path and save it, and again you have this. So this code is not required, so what you can do is you can delete it if you want. All right, and again this this is this code. Again what you can do, I mean this you can delete it to keep it simple and clean, and scroll down, and if you just browse through the JavaScript link, again in JavaScript link you don't have the dist folder, and it is under bootstrap.mean.js. so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a correct path to the bootstrap.mean.js. so I have given the correct path. This also you just give a correct path, and this also let's do it and save it. Now you refresh your browser. I mean it's comes very close, right? We have the nav bar as we have in our template, and we do have the content. But you can see our one header is going inside the nav bar. You know, our header is here in the template, header is here, but it's going inside. How to fix that? So if you go inside the source code of the template which you had downloaded, there is a custom CSS called starter-template.css. click on that. If you click on that, you have the custom template which has been used for this template. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this one and open your IDE. In your CSS folder, on your CSS folder, right click on that, create new file, and create a file called custom.css. if you create custom.css, the custom CSS which you had copied from that template, you save it, open your index.html and give a correct path to the custom.css. so you give css /custom.css. Now save it and refresh this page. Wow, amazing. So now you have the template exactly like this, right? There is not a single pixel difference. So let's say now let me close this tab so that it would be easy for you to refer. So basically this is our template, and you have the project name here, home, about, contact, right? And if you click, nothing happens. If you click, nothing happens. If you click, it goes to the home page, or nothing happens, by the way. So what I'm going to do is instead of project name, let's say I'm going to give our company name. So open your IDE, and just this is the navbar section. On this navbar section, you can see here there is a project name. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give our company name Nescode, and I'm going to refresh this page. So you have the Nescode here, right? And now if you go to click on about, basically nothing happens. Contact, nothing happens, right? So what I'm going to do is, let's say we are going to create the about page. So open your IDE and create another file in Bootstrap folder called about.html. So in all small case, about.html. And what I'm going to do is simply I'm going to copy this whole code into about.html and save it. And if you go into the navbar section of the code, so this is navbar section code, there is a link for the about us. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give a link about.html. Similarly for contact, I'm going to write define a link contact.html, and I'm going to create another file named contact.html in Bootstrap folder. So contact.html, and I'm going to paste the same code. And since this is a contact page, so I'm going to change this contact us, and in about we can say about us. In index.html, so let's say I'm going to write my blog homepage. Right now, just save all three files and refresh your browser. So as you can see, there are some changes you have observed. My blog home page, earlier it was something different, and now if you can click on about, basically nothing happens here. Why nothing happens? Let's browse through the index.html. Basically here I didn't change the link. So let's say index.html, put it into a small case, html, and this one also you make it contact.html. And now if you can refresh this page, and now if you can click on about, it goes to about us page. Wow. But here you can see, even if I goes to about us page, our home button is selected. Why home button is selected? Because I haven't made it active on the about.html page. So what I'm going to do is, if let's say my page is on about us page, so this class in navbar, you can see there li class active. This is for on home page, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this code and I'm going to paste it here, and here I'm going to type index.html, so that if I can click on logo next code, it should redirect me to the home page. And similarly on contact.html, I'm going to paste this code here, and this one I'm going to delete it, and here again I'm going to type index.html, and here about.html, and here contact.html. Hope it should be working fine now. If you can refresh it, so you can see now the tab selection has been automatically moved from about to contact. Now let's click on the contact page. So the tab has been again moved from about to contact, and you can see the page also has been changed, right? So currently whatever the page you can see here, all these pages are a static page. There are no any dynamic element here. If you click on the logo, nothing happens. Let's see why nothing happens. Go to the home page. Oh, here it should be index.html for the home page. Similarly in about us section also, here it should be index.html. In index also it should be index.html. and now if you can refresh this page and click on the next code, so basically now it comes to the home page. So basically what I did is we have just fixed the CSS and fixed the link, and now it's properly working. Now instead of this small content, if you would like to add more content here, you can add as much content you want. So what we are going to do is we'll see the code first, what basically this code does here. So this is the navbar code, and you can see nav class, navbar inverse, navbar fixed top. So basically if you, let's say we are changing this navbar inverse to the navbar default, and save this particular and similarly what you do, just copy this and paste it here, or instead of pasting it, make it default here also, and default here also, and refresh this page. So just see what I did. I just did changed from inverse to default, and the color of the navbar has been changed. I mean, this is amazing, right? So now you'll be surprised, without even changing the color, why the color has been changed. The color has been changed because for inverse and default, the code is already written in the background in bootstrap.css. So what I mean is, if you give the inverse, if you use the inverse into your navbar, so the color code for the inverse is already black. For default, it's already white, I mean gray. So if you just see the CSS, go inside the CSS and open bootstrap.css, you will see hundreds, thousands lines of codes are already written, has been given to you. For example, let's say the H1, what should be the font size of the H1, what should be the font size of the small. So a lot of codes are written there. If you would like to make any changes in this code, I would recommend never ever change the standard bootstrap code. Whatever the custom code you want to write, you add it into your customs.css. For example, let's say you want this navbar, instead of white, I mean gray, you want it some different color, right? So what I can do is right click on this navbar and click on inspect. Moment you click on inspect, you will see the navbar code here comes here, right? Just click on navbar default, and what you do, just copy this code, or yeah, you can copy this code and paste it into the custom.css, and I will show you one of the amazing tool which you can use for being as a developer. So let's say I want some new color to be added on my navbar. So let's say, let me first figure out which color we should use. So let's say I like this color, for example. So there is a tool comes called color picker. This tools come for the Mozilla browser, also Firefox, Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome browser also. So you can simply install this plugin into your browser, Chrome browser, and let's say this color code I want to choose. So simply click this and you will get an option to click somewhere on the code color. So let's say this color I like it, so I just clicked selected that one, and in background color I have replaced it, and let's say border also I'm just replacing with the same color code. And now if you refresh this page, wow, so basically now my navbar becomes totally different color, even though it is default, right? If you can see here, default is there, but my navbar color is totally different. Now the text is not visible here. So how we can make the text visible? Just open your IDE, go to custom.css, and you can give a color, define a color, let's say white I want, and save it and refresh it. Wow, nothing happens. So let's figure out how to give the color of this change the color of this text to the white. What I can do is right click on this and click on inspect. So you can see here the code for the text which is appearing on the navbar. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, or if you want to just ensure yes this is the right code, what you do, just select that code and CFFF. Wow, so now it is white. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it into my custom.css, and even though now if you can refresh it, it will remain white. How to change the color of this brand? So right click on that particular brand, and you can see here the brand navbar default, navbar brand. So color seems to be gray. Click on that, and even you can change this to here white F, right? And just copy this code and paste it in your custom.css, and if you refresh your page, now this remains white. Wow, but you take your cursor on this brand, it's not visible, right? So how to change this behavior? What I can do is I can go inside the custom.css, copy this code and paste it below, and give colon hover and save it and refresh this page. Take your cursor on this. Now even after hover, the color of the brand is remains white, right? Now what we can do is, let's say this you want to just make it a little bit more bold, to look more appealing. So what I can do is, let's open custom.css and go to the navbar default navbar brand and say font weight, let's say font weight you give 900, and same you copy for the hover section also. Save it and refresh it. Now you can see this is a little bit more bold and it looks much better. Like this, let's say if you would like to add some image slider on our page. So how to add the image slider? It's very simple. Open your Bootstrap official website and go to the JavaScript section, scroll down, and you will have carousel here. So this is, let's say this is what I would like to add it on our page. So what I can do is, the code of this particular image slider is here. Simply I can copy this and open your index.html, and this particular section is for the home page text, which you can see here. So I can remove this, or let's say I can keep it below, which I can use it for might be for other purpose. And let's add comment, slider ends, and I'm going to paste the slider code here. Now if you refresh your page, nothing is visible, but something is visible here, but seems like something is broken. So how to fix this broken part is, it's very simple.